Hi, it's Nadine from ThreadMeadows. I'm going to show you how I like to transfer my patterns to fabric. Let's get started. When it comes to tracing, I like to trace either using paper or my iPad. I'll start with paper first. With my paper, I first like to cut it out. Now that I'm about to begin tracing, I usually pick what tool I'm going to use. I either use a water erasable marker, which can be found at most craft stores. This is just a blue marker and the pen marks will disappear when rinsed with water once you are finished stitching. Alternatively, I like to use a pilot friction pen. You can find these at most office supply stores as they weren't designed to be used on fabric. But these disappear with heat, so you can go over your pen marks with an iron or a hairdryer and the marks will disappear. So with my pattern all cut out now, let's begin tracing. There are a couple of ways that you can trace. Step 1 would be to place your pattern down and then turn your embroidery hoop over with the wrong side facing you and place it on top of your pattern. You should be able to see the lines pretty clearly. If you can't, you can tape the pattern to the back of your embroidery hoop and lean up against a window. The light filtering through will act like a light box. I'm going to begin tracing using my pilot friction pen. And that is your pattern traced. Using this method means that your pattern will be on the wrong side of the fabric. You can loosen the tension screw and flip your fabric to the right side, which I'll show you in just a moment. But first, I'm going to show you a different way that you can trace your pattern using paper without having to flip your fabric. Luckily, I have another hoop prepared so we can begin tracing. With this method, once again, turn your hoop with the wrong side facing you. Then take your pattern and place it face down on the back of your embroidery hoop. Grab some tape and tape it to the fabric. Now you can flip it the right way. And you should be able to see your pattern pretty clearly. And now you can trace. Remove your pattern from the back of the fabric and you are now ready to stitch. For a long time I didn't have a printer, so I had to rely on my iPad to trace patterns. I used an app called Tracetable, which is a paid app and I'm not sponsored or affiliated, I just really like the app. And what it does is it locks your iPad screen, which means that your fingers and hands leaning on the screen won't readjust the size of the pattern and also won't close down the app. So my screen is now locked, my pattern has been imported into the app itself, and I've got my hoop from earlier, which I'm going to use the exact same method, which means that I'm going to have my pattern, which is on an iPad this time rather than paper, on the bottom, and my embroidery hoop with the wrong side facing me lying on top of it. Now it goes without saying, exercise a little bit of caution when using technology to trace patterns, as this obviously wasn't its intended use, so please be careful and don't press down too hard. And now with your pattern traced, you have the option of either stitching it as is, with the wrong side facing you, or you can take the fabric out and flip it over to the right side, which I'll go ahead and do now. And regardless of what method you've used, I hope you have a wonderful time stitching. Thank you for watching.